Sindio? It's called hydroponic farming. And what hydroponic farming does, it makes soil absolutely irrelevant. Because in order for you to be a farmer, as a young person, do you have land? Una shamba? Iko wapi? Uko home? Now, most young people don't have land. And because of that, we have to use what we call STEEP. Science, technology, innovation, and partnerships to make sure that we make farming accessible to young people. And when you eliminate soil, if you go to countries like Singapore, for example, where they don't have land, they farm in buildings like this. So all they need is space. They need space. Once you eliminate soil, the only thing you need is space. And I'll be sending some videos to Dr. Beth this afternoon. So in the evening, you can watch those videos on how you actually do farming without soil. What we do at Miramar, we make sure that our young people embrace farming because it's the next big thing. There are three things that are constant in life. One is education. We always go to school, sindio? So hakuna maneno, lazima mtu watu waende shule, sindio? Two is health. People will always get sick, they will always go to the hospital or get treated, sindio? Na chakula people will always eat. Sindio? Now, if you always have to eat, and sometimes the weather does not allow you to become as productive because it's hot, the quality of soil is not good, then we have to use science to enable us to make sure that we produce food for our people, regardless of the climate, regardless of the amount of water there is. And with hydroponic farming, what we do, we eliminate soil. Nikikuuliza, what's the purpose of soil? Is it to grow anything? To grow food? No. The purpose of soil is to give you support, to give support for the roots. Hakuna kitu ingine. Are you surprised? Soil is useless. I don't even watu wanapigania soil. Sijui ni kwa nini. So it's such a useless thing in terms of farming when you're using science. So when you eliminate soil, all you need is space to grow food. And this is what we do at Miramar International College. We train our young people to grow food using hydroponic science. Then after the training has been completed, which takes about 2 months, in the third month, we work with banks to provide funding for you to own your own greenhouses. After you're funded for the greenhouses, our company has market for all the produce that you're going to produce. That means we take you from home, mtaani, college, you do your training, you become an owner of a business, then from there we buy everything you produce. That means in 6 months, chapa ziko wapi? Ati ziko wapi? Now, let me tell you something that's exciting. We have, well, if you grow tomatoes in a room like this, just half of this, from there to here, just this side alone, hapa hivi. And I'm assuming this is about 8 meters, maybe 24 meters. If you grow tomatoes from here to there, in 2 harvests per year, it'll give you between 1.5 to 2 million shillings. Between how much? 1.5 to growing tomatoes. And you don't have to wear gumboots. Kwa sababu, you have eliminated nini? Hakuna matope. Huh? Are we together? Now, if you go to this other side and you decide you want to grow vegetables, like lettuce, sukuma wiki, because all you need is space, you can grow them in layers, where you have one layer here, another layer, another layer, another layer way on top. And when I send you these videos in the evening, you'll be able to see them. You'll be able to make about 1 million shillings from this space. So far at Miramar, we have trained about 1,023 young people like you. And within 2 to 3 years, those young people will be millionaires. What's the secret? The secret is we are not able to do farming properly because there is no market for the products. Sinasikiaga wazee nyumbani wakicomplain atakuna market, ndio? Now, for us, we have found the market, we have established the market, both inside the country and outside the country. So everything you produce is bought by one of our companies. So you don't have to worry about market. And that's the beauty of the program that we run at Miramar. Right now we have a class of 323 that's starting. We have other classes that come in October, November. Every 3 months we have an intake. And because we cannot meet the demand of the products that our current students are producing, we have to keep on trying, we have to keep on training our students throughout the year. And that's why when I talk to young people, the first thing I ask them is, how many of you would like to have 1 million shilling in your account in the next 2 years? Let me see your hands. Yani, hamtaki kuwa mmesota? Hamtaki kuwa mmesota? In the next 2 years. Now, with what we do with our students at Miramar, because we work with somebody who gives you scholarship, full scholarship for the training, and then from there, we give you money for greenhouses. Of course, we don't give you the money. What we do, the banks that we work with, provides the money for the construction of the greenhouses. And then from there, immediately your products are done, we start buying your products from day one. Okay? Now, if this half of this area over here, you're able to make 1.5 million, and you get a loan of about 1 million, which is 0 interest, or about 1 million, so you pay it within a year. Sindio? The following year, sio miliko, siniako. In 2-3 years, you're a millionaire. That's the only way we can be able to empower our young people. We have to skill you. We give you skills. We have to fund you. We give you funding. And then from there, we provide market for the products that you're producing. Now, having said that, there's something I always tell our students. The people, I am usually on radio and TV talking about C and D students. They call me the C and D student ambassador. Okay? You know why I do that? Because if you look at a class of Saturday 1 that entered Saturday 1 each year, it's only 11 to 12% of those students will enter university. And that's the history. You look at the history throughout from 2003. So I tell my 88%, those are the ones I call my 88%. My what? My 88%. Those are the people who build countries. And here is the reason. The A student, they go and become lawyer, accountant, doctor, engineer. Okay? Okay, the B students, they do others. So we always say the A students will always work for the C and D students. The B student will work for government. Hello? Are we together? Can you do it again? The A student will work for the C and D students, and the B students will work for? Okay, now, how does that happen? The C and D students are the classes of entrepreneurs. You go out, you start a business. By 5 years, by the time the 5 years are over, and this dude who went to medical school is still in medical school, you have 5 years experience. Kama nachapa meal moja every year, una meal ngapi? 5. Si ndio? Si jamaa amesota. Are we together? Now when they get out, who needs a doctor? The doctor sees you are the patient. Who needs a lawyer? The small and medium size business owner. Who needs an accountant? The C&D students, because they are the ones who own businesses. Are we together? And that's why my passion is to convert our young people into entrepreneurs. Because those are the people who build the country. The A and B students, they provide services, but we build the country as C and D students. And therefore, as I talk to students who are C and D, don't feel as if sababu ulipata D, until the world has come to an end. No, your world is just beginning. And it's us, the grown-ups, to give you that opportunity to become that successful entrepreneur so that you can employ that lawyer, that accountant, that engineer to do your buildings, that engineer to do whatever they're doing. Are we together? Now, if you go to countries like America, almost 80% of the economic activity in the United States, I spent 30 years there. Almost 80% of the economic activity in America is driven by small and medium-sized enterprises. And who are the people who own small and medium-sized enterprises? They are the people who never spent time in the universities. They went straight after high school. They got a trade. After that trade, they went right in and started a business. Are we together? So when I talk to students and I tell them, look, because one day it happened that you didn't do too well in that one exam for those 1 week, your world has not come to an end. It's just the beginning. But we have to help you discover yourself. Sindio? We have to do what? We have to help you discover yourself. And that's why all these people are here. That's why the Wings to Fly is here. That's why the Equity Foundation is here. That's why I am here as a parent, because I have kids your age, some older, and we have the same talk. My own daughter, who is now happily married in another country, was a C&D student. But she went to a college, one of the local colleges. She got her diploma. She came and started a business. And in the course of doing business, she met a wonderful husband that they got married to, and they moved to Europe. But had she not started that journey of becoming an entrepreneur, chances are, hangepata huyo jamaa, si ndio? Wangemeet kweli? Angekuwa na jamaa mwingine wa mtaa mwenye amesota, yeye amesota, kila mtu amesota. Si ndio? So job yetu is to make sure that we help you discover yourself. And when you are providing those opportunities for you, please take them. And when you take them seriously. Because when grown-ups develop programs for you, like this program, I developed this program, this hydroponic program. I developed myself. And this is how we can empower you, the young people. Part of the big four in this country is agriculture, isn't it? Food security. How can you be food secure if the majority of the population in this country are not involved in the production of food? Who are the majority? It's you. It's the youth. So we have to find creative ways of getting you involved in agriculture. And because you don't have land, we have to use science that only uses space. Because when you eliminate soil, then you really don't need land. It doesn't matter whether you're in Nairobi, you're in Marsabit, you're in Meru, you're in Mombasa. It doesn't matter where you are. We have trained people across this country to grow food where they never thought food would happen. I was just in Makueni on Monday with the Deputy President when he launched the International Youth Week. we are displaying our hydroponic farming. And I can tell you the number of youth that was just coming there and said, wow. And when I send these clips and videos to Dr. Ruth and Dr. Beth, please watch them and see what is possible. When you start employing yourself, you start creating wealth, you become an employer. Sindio? And you are empowered. Sindio? Okay. Who doesn't want to be empowered? My sister, oh. You want to be broke all your life? No. Sindio? So if you found an opportunity for you to get trained, and then from there you become an entrepreneur, would you jump at that? Absolutely. And this is where the grown-ups are here to make sure that you guys have those opportunities. The middle class. Unasikia watu wakisema middle class all the time, middle class, middle class, middle class. Sindio? Most of the people in the middle class are the self-employed people who create jobs. And by creating jobs, you become not only a positive change in your society, but also change things in your life and your family. Sindio? Eh? Are we together? Now, if you have ever thought about farming, and this is a big thing, and you didn't know how to start, you have opportunities to do that. This is farming that you use nutrients. We don't use soil. We don't use the fertilizers that you put in the soil. Do you know why we have a lot of weeds? Unalima kila siku when in the traditional farming. You know why? Because we get fertilizer, tunaitupa kwa mchanga, si ndio? But what you're doing, this fertilizer ya kila kitu, weeds, this, do plants eat ugali? Huh? Eh? Jama? Spinach inakula ugali? So why would you give spinach ugali? Sindio? So in hydroponic farming, what we do is for each crop, it has its own nutrients that it eats. And therefore, that's why at the college, we have agronomists and we have biochemists who work in the formulation of the nutrients so that the plant is getting only that food which it requires. And by doing so, you are guaranteeing that what you plant today is what you harvest tomorrow. First of all, you have eliminated weeds. Hakuna kwenda kulima, unalipa nini na hakuna weeds? Sindio? Huh? Okay. Second of all, you have eliminated the chance, the 50-50 chance that mmea yangu ita produce, or maybe it won't. This is guaranteed it's going to produce because you're giving it the food that it needs without the need for soil. 80% of the problems you have in your food production today comes from soil. Why? Because there are a lot of impurities in soil. There's so many things that are happening within the soil. Kuna wadudu, kuna hii, kana hii. But when you eliminate soil, you eliminate all those problems. And that's what we teach you at Miramar. Another thing that we teach you at Miramar is the soft skills. Because as you get out, you want to learn how to interact with others. Sindio? You also want to learn how to interact with other business people, apply for the loans, manage your products, market your products, and all those things. When we teach you how to do that with our soft skills, we also give you what we call psychosocial support. And that includes what we call group dynamics. Because as you're going through the college, we are able to put you in groups of between 5 and 8 to form a company. That's the part I didn't tell you. As you graduate, by the time the 3rd month is over, you've already formed a company. And that company is the one that's going to access the funding for you to own your greenhouse. And as you finish with the first crop and harvest, our company buys everything that you produce, both for the local market and the international market. And this is a very unique, there's the only program in this country that's doing that. And that's the only way that tunaweza kutoa home, To train within 6 months, chapa ziko wapi? Siko kwa mfuko, si ndio? And I usually give my students a challenge, and some of them will be taking that challenge. I tell them the first group to make 1 million shillings, I'll give them 100,000 shillings cash. Hiya. You hear what you say? Yes. I challenge my students. If your company, because 5 of you form a company, you'll own your greenhouse. Whatever you produce, you buy. The first group to make 1 million, I give them 100,000 cash. See on incentive power. You have 1 million, then I give you 100K. Bro, what can you do with 100K right now? iPhone? What can you do with 100K? Jamaa anasema girlfriend yako itakula chipo tena. What can you do with 100K? You bank it and you do other things. So hakuna tei. Sindio? So those are the kind of incentives that we give them. Now, the students who come to our college under the sponsorship programs, not only do we train them for free, because it's a funded program, we also give you bus fare to go home and come back. How cool is that? Now, not only do we give you bus fare, we make sure that you have lunch. Now, who is working in the best interest of the student? Because we have to nurture you. And the only way we can do to nurture you to become the best that you can is to make it possible for you to have that environment that allows you to learn. Are we together? So we give you skills, which you're not paying for because somebody is paying for it. We have partners. In our case, we work with GIZ, okay, which provides now the funding for the training. Okay? We also get the stipend that covers your transport from home to college every day that you're in college. We also make sure that you have food that you're eating. Otherwise, ukienda class na tumu inafanya brrrr. Are you going to concentrate? Akili iko wapi? Iko huko. So we have to make sure you're well fed every day. And then you get transport to come home, to come back to class the following day. Now, by doing that, we make sure that you don't have any reason to stay at home and not go to school and get skilled. Are we together? Now, we work with banks. The previous group has been working with KCB, through KCB Foundation. We are looking forward also to working with Equity Group Foundation and also Equity Bank to make sure that the benefits that we are giving you as the beneficiaries also convert you into a serious businessman and businesswoman. When you're generating 1 million shillings a year, that's serious business, isn't it? And then you can go on and start other businesses as well. And the good thing is, as you're getting out of school, we give you 3 people to work with your group. We'll give you a lawyer. What does a lawyer do? They help you setting up your company to make sure it's in good footing. Okay? We give you an accountant. What does the accountant do? To make sure your books are, and you're not wasting your money. Then we give you a marketer. What does that do? And make sure, as I buy your products, you're also looking for other markets for other products that you can produce and sell. Are we together? Now, are we on the way to enriching you? Why would anybody say, please don't enrich me? Would anybody say that? So we are on our way to make sure that you are not only taken care of, but you are skilled, funded, and also you're on your way to becoming successful. And that is what we want our young people to do. Now, how many of you want to be employed? How many of you want to be businessmen and women? Okay, look at your neighbor. If you have your hands up, look at your neighbor, tell your neighbor, I'm going to be a millionaire soon. Is that your neighbor on the left or right? Aya, fanya hivi mwambie, nitakuwa millionaire soon. Look at the other neighbor. Keep your hand up. Keep your hand up. Look at the other neighbor, mwambie, nitakuwa millionaire soon. Now, who is ready to earn some money? And with this program, within 6 months, you have money in your pocket. Because we train you for 2 months. The 3rd month, we are constructing your greenhouses. The 4th, 5th, and 6th month, you're growing. At the end of the 6 months, you're harvesting. Chapa zinaanza? Chapa zinaanza? Ile manana ya kusota, tunaita, hey bro, sinisambazie credit. Hiyo hakuna, si ndio? Hiyo manana ya kusambaza credit hakuna. And my brother here who's been wanting to take his girlfriend out for a nice meal, sio chipo. Nasema sasa, this one I can afford. Si ndio? Hata unaenda Intercon. Are we together? Because when you start that journey as an entrepreneur, it never stops. Let me give you a small story about myself. I am a professor of strategy. I own a college. I'm a CEO of a hospital. And in America, I'm a large shareholder in one of the private universities. Now, how did I get there? How did I get there? I grew up poor in Kiambu. Any of you has ever driven along Nairobi Nakuru highway? Misha drive huko? None of those kids who sell fruits on the road. That was me. I did that throughout my primary school and high school because that's the only way I could raise money. But by age 18, I had 4 grown-ups working for me. Entrepreneurship, my brothers and sisters. I had, how many grown-ups working for me? Sinikuwa mdos. Sinikuwa ali. But how did I get there? Because I had that drive to succeed. And that's what I tell the young people. You have to have that stubborn desire to succeed. Say that after me. Stubborn desire to succeed. Stubborn desire to succeed. Are you stubborn enough that you won't actually succeed? Hiyo stubbornness iko. Ati ukipata hando unasema ai sasa hapa wacha hii bari ya bwana. Just go around it. Si ndio? But you don't sit there and say, oh my gosh, you know, I can't do anything. Sasa siwezi pitia hapa. So you find another route to success, isn't it? And that's what I tell my C and D students. Because the A and B's and C pluses have stood in your way because of 1, 2, 3, 4 days exam, you don't have to go like, Mama, I'm failing. I've failed. Alafu you listen to those people in the village and be, si alianguka. They're like, ngoja. 3 years I'll be here in my Prado. Takuwa una floss. Why? Because once you take entrepreneurship, you take it seriously. One thing as an entrepreneur you have to do, you have to have discipline. Ndugu yangu, you have to have what? If you have no discipline, you're not going to succeed. That's 1. 2, you have to have what I just told you, a stubborn desire to do what? Then you have to play by the rules of the game. You do what is right, you are aggressive, and you do the things that you have to do in order for you to succeed. As long as they are not illegal. Na umpigi mtu nini? Ngeta, si ndio? Tuko pamoja? As long as you do those things, you will succeed. Now, I finance my own high school. And this is what I used to do. I used to supply fruits and vegetables. That's why I'm growing fruits and vegetables, ladies and gentlemen, and I have to find a way. I used to supply fruits and vegetables. When I stopped selling on the highway, then I figured there's a place called City Market in Nairobi. And I had 2 Wahindis. That's in 1970s, a long time ago. I had 2 Wahindis at City Market. It used to be cleaner than it is now. You go there, histenjia manyama na nini makuku. I used to supply two stores owned by Wahindis. with fruits and vegetables. Now, when I was in primary school, I was the richest kid in primary school. You know why? Because weekends, niko huko barabarani. Nachoma magari na nini? Na matunda. You seen those guys? Simaona? So they stop, I make money, then I'm eating at the same hotel that my teachers are eating, except I can't do it in the front, naenda huko nyuma. Wakiniona nakula the same food as there, si watanichapa. Sindio? So I decided I'm going to move from the highway and now go to supply. I started supplying in City Market, 2 stalls, twice a week. Every Wednesday, every Saturday. I made more money than my teachers. But I needed to finance my own secondary school. My parents were poor. Then from there, by the time I went to secondary school, I was supplying fruits and vegetables in Mombasa. You know, Nazire truck Kuba, 7 tons? There used to be 7 tons those days. So every Friday, jioni, I would skip school because the people who are working for me are already collecting my vegetables. Tunakutana Marikiti. I load the truck, then head out to Mombasa with a Kamba bus. Those days, they used to be called a Kamba bus. There used to be buses called a Kamba. Then, by the time my rolly gets to Mombasa in the morning, my bus is already there. I've had breakfast, na ngojea, I offload Kongoya market, I sell. Then Sato jioni, I'm back in Nairobi. Sunday niko kwa shule. Dozima? Sindio? Because I had that stubborn desire to succeed, and I did not let my poor background determine my future. And that's what I tell young people. You can never let your past circumstances dictate your future and where you're going to go. No. I said, that's how my parents are poor. See what I mean, they give up to. Dugu, is that allowed? It's not allowed. You cannot say because you came from a poor background that you cannot succeed. Yes, you can. And that's my challenge to all of you. As you decide what you want to do, the colleges you want to go to, and I'm hoping I'll be able to make a few of you millionaires in the next 2 to 3 years. That's my goal. Are we together? All you have to do is talk to Beth, Daktari. And then you determine that I am going to succeed, and once you have made that determination, then we'll show you the way. So this is a journey I have walked. And that's why when I came back from America about 6 years ago, instead of starting a university, I started what? A college. Why? Because there was that 88% that was calling me and telling me, I will not go to uni. I'm a C&D student, but I want to succeed. So we find solutions and ways and give you ways and open those doors to make sure that you're successful. Are we together? Now, how many of you want to succeed? Let me see. All of you. Okay, then repeat after me. Say, I promise to work hard and to have a stubborn desire to succeed, and everything I do, I will be looking at the success path that I will set for myself, guided by those who are grown and know better than I do, and they gave me an opportunity to succeed. So help me God. You just saw in front of God, you know. Lazima usucceed. Si ndio? So hii maneno ya kuslack hivi, unaenda mtaa, unaketi tu hakuna kitu unafanya. There is nothing that will come from nothing. You have to work for it. You have to make the necessary sacrifices in order for you to be successful. It's either in school, in life, or everybody else. Now this is the parent in me talking. See ole jamaa wa college. Huyu ni nani? This is the parent in me. How old are you now? Most of you are 18, 17, 18, 19? Huh? 20? Huh? 19? Most of you are 19? Okay. How many of you want to die at age, let's say 90? Okay, age 80. 100. How many of you want to live until 100? How many of you want to live until you are 40 years old? 70 years old? 75? So most of you want to live for another, what? 50 years? She wants to live for another 50 years. So the challenge that I have for you, and this is what I tell my Form 1 students. The challenge I have for you, over the next 6 months to a year, Equity Group Foundation is going to give you a chance. A chance that will change what you're going to do and be for the next 50 years. Are we together? Now, do you want to mess up the next 6 months to a year and then be miserable for the next 50 years? Do you want to do that? That's the same conversation I have with my Form 1 students, because I mentor a lot of young people. And I tell them you have 4 years to determine what they're going to be for the next 65 years. So, if you want to hang out, kwa jamaa mtaa, tei, madem, ina pale, it's up to you. But what you do when you're given opportunities will determine what you're going to be for the next 40, 50, or 60 years. Are we together? Nani anataka kuwa miserable for the next 40 years? Bunione. Now, and I'm assuming all of you want to be successful. Sindio? So take this opportunity. Make sure that you apply yourself. And all of us are not gifted in the same way. We all have different gifts. I happen to be in the National Steering Committee on Curriculum Reform. They'll be changing from 844 to 2633. And some of the issues I'm telling you now is the same issue we are dealing with the new curriculum. Because you're telling kids, by the time you are in high school, we should be able to identify your talent. And therefore, we help you to nurture that talent. Sindio? Come on to a biz. We support you in that direction. If you're an artist, we are supporting you in that direction. But you guys are not in that system now. The system you're in now is you're being given an opportunity to improve yourself. So as you leave this place tomorrow, the day after, figure out where you want to be the next 5 years. And I always challenge my students, make yourself a 5-year plan. What do you want to be for the next 5 years? My sister, what do you want to do for where do you want to be for the next 5 years? You haven't even thought about it. Ndio? Imani ya kwenda through life kama nini kama roli. Today I'm 19. I'll be 20 next year. Hakuna plan. Do you want to go through life bila plan? Jipange bwana. Hata DPS anasemaka watu wajipange, si ndio? Jipange bwana. You have to make plan for yourself. And that's a plan I made for the students who come to Miramar International College. And I tell them, tujipange, where in 5 years, you'll have 1 million shillings and above in your account. You have started already to break that cycle of poverty. Kama una do, the person you're going to get married to, atakuwa na do kweli? The people who hang around you. Sini wala watu wamesota. You get married. Your life iko imeso. Then after that you get kids. Environment itakuwa imeso. So from you to your children to your grandchildren, do you want that cycle to go on and on and on? You have to break it, and the only way to do that is to take the opportunities you've been given. Take advantage of that, because we who are responsible to seeing that future that's coming, we are giving you that opportunity. Please take it. Are we together? All right, I think I'll stop there. I can preach forever. If you have any questions, I'll be more than glad to answer your questions. And there is no question that is stupid in life. You know why? Because any question is looking for information or clarity. Mtu asikwambia, swali gani hiyo ya ujinga. Sindio? No question is a bad question. All questions lead to either more information or clarity. So asanteni sana. I look forward to seeing you and possibly even having some of you at Miramar. What I can tell you is if we decide to go and do this at Miramar, 2 years from now, most of you will be having million shillings in your bank accounts. And I can guarantee you that. Because it is possible and is being done. Asanteni sana.
Hey, you can clap better than that. Come on. Questions? Kuna mtu nimeona hapa.